What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Cosmic Carry here. Just making a quick one-off vid with regards to the drama that is currently going on PC. I just thought I'd throw my hat into the ring, etc., etc. Because I see a lot of I feel kind of out of place saying it's misinformation, but there definitely some people kind of stating their opinions when they shouldn't be, thinking they can state their opinions when, quite frankly, and I might swear here and there in the vid, but mainly it's going to be quoting other people. But I don't know. It's just it's there's a lot of face palm. A lot of face palming. Watching other people's vids, people talking about the situation, discussing the situation, but anyhow, a quick breakdown. The PC version has a community contributor program just like the console does, and on the PC version you have Quickie Baby, you have Jingles, you have Circum, and you have Sir Fosh. I think there's some other. I'm sure there's plenty of others, but those are like the main guys that I watch, and some of them stream, some of them just do YouTube, some of them, they're community contributors. That's what they do, and of course, they get the loaner tanks. Yes, they do, absolutely. Why shouldn't they? And but each has each individual style. Quickie Baby is kind of like the mild vanilla flavor, when it comes to commentators, and no offense there. Jingles is the old funny old cynical guy, used to be shacked up with a woman half his age, but let's not go there. But and Circum is just this fantastic, amazing, unique player, just an amazing player. He mostly streams, and then you have Fosh. Fosh he's also a streamer. He primarily streams. He does YouTube as well, but primarily he streams. That's what he does. And recently, there's been a kind of like a change, I guess, sort of similar like with, well, it's kind of similar but not, with the release of these premium tanks that require that basically don't have any. They started up this trend where they're releasing premium tanks that basically have no frontal weak spots. So in order for you to penetrate these tanks, you have to load premium. At the same time, the actual premium tanks that you're shooting at, they also have kind of poor gun stats as well. So in order for you to do well in that actual overpowered premium tank, if you want to do well with the gun, you have to load premium yourself. So you can see what's going on here. Lots of premium rounds being shot. You're trying to pen this tank with premium rounds. He's got a bad gun, so he's using premium rounds. And so recently, Fosh made a vid with regards to the latest Tier 8 American heavy tank, which had these characteristics kind of en masse, basically. Even though the tank had machine gun points, they weren't weak spots. The armor was nice and flat, and he ranted and raved. It was totally inappropriate, 100%, the way he went about, doing the commentary, because in the vid, which was approximately 2 minutes long, half of it consisted of him saying, fuck Wargaming, not the oh my god, how could he, or whatever, but it wasn't that constructive. If I hate to say it, it was just, he could have elaborated a bit better, which he did, kind of later on, and it was very I don't know, childish, for lack of a better term. But the thing is, that is Fosh. That is 100% Fosh. When it comes to Circum, Quickie Baby, Jingles, I watch these guys' vids all the time, and like I said, each and everyone has a different personality, 100%. And And Fosh is known for being salty. And when he joined the community contributor program, he was, he was asked to leave. He didn't. He was asked to join. He didn't kind of seek it out. He's known in the World of Tanks PC world, as Fosh, the guy who speaks his mind. No bullshit. He 100% speaks his mind, and he was seriously cheated off with another premium tank being added, where you needed premium ammo in order to penetrate the thing, and you needed premium ammo in order to use the thing. So he was just pissed off, and granted, 100%, it was he flew way off the handle, with the comments. Fuck Wargaming, this is bullshit, etc, etc. He could have expressed himself much better. But so what happened basically was that Phelan, which is the community coordinator, same guy who basically denied me community contributor status, by the way, basically got onto Discord chat with Sir Fosh and told him, you've crossed the line, buddy. You've gone too far. You need to take the video down. Now, I'm not sure what initially happened, because from what I gather, and he got stripped of his community contributor status straight away. I think even before this chat went down. But that's acceptable. The guy crossed the line 100%. Even if he does remove the video, you way crossed the line. Pardon me. But I think he initially refused to do so. He initially refused to take down the vid, and he was threatened by Phelan with a copyright strike. And this is where things got effed up, basically. This is where things got effed up. This is where all this drama began. This is where it just blew out of all proportion. This is where we've seen the PC YouTube community making videos, etc, etc, about this. And it wasn't the fact that he made the video, it wasn't the fact that he went too far, it wasn't the fact that he got removed from the community contributor program. It was the fact that he was threatened with a copyright strike. Copyright strikes are last resort. Copyright strikes are there for a reason. When somebody's stolen your intellectual property, that's when you issue a copyright strike. Copyright strikes are 100% last resort kind of measures. And copyright strikes, what they do to a YouTube channel is just untold misery and grief. You cannot monetize, which means you can't make any money. Not that you make that much money, but still, you cannot upload according to the schedule. You have to upload, as soon as you start uploading a vid, it's issued as released, and if it takes 10 hours for that vid to upload, it's going to continue to say upload. It kind of looks unprofessional. You can't do thumbnails. You can't make vids longer than, I don't know, 10 minutes. I can't remember. And you get a second copyright strike, a third. I think it's after once you get free, your entire channel gets deleted. 100% it gets deleted. So the fact that he got threatened with a copyright strike was just beyond me. It was so below the belt. It was so below the belt, and it just shows a total lack of understanding of how YouTube works. Because if you do get a copyright strike, there's no helpline that you can just pick up and speak to an actual person. The support is just minimal, bare minimal, and you're basically, once you get a copyright strike, you're talking to a machine pretty much, and you're just gonna get nowhere. Maxwell, who's World of Tanks PC and console YouTuber, about a year or two ago, he had a copyright strike issued against him, and it was so sad to watch him. He had to shut the channel down, restart afresh, and start from scratch. It just, and this is your kind of all your hard work, and this is your intellectual property that you've try to kind of put together, this is your art, and this is, you know, you've put so much time and effort into this, and then somebody for no reason, and keep in mind this is a false copyright strike, you know, he's not stealing their, you know, intellectual property, you know, this, and not only that, he's part of that community, you know, he's Fosh, he's comes with the territory, you know, he's part of the fabric of World of Tanks. I fully understand that there's some Russian YouTubers that I'm not really aware of, but they like have millions of subs. But when it comes to the English speaking World of Tanks community, you know, there's Jingles, there's Quickie Baby, there's Circum, and etc, etc. So of course, you know, Fosh being Fosh, you know, basically was like, get lost, who do you guys think you are? And it basically turns out that Phelan possibly, maybe, didn't have the authority to threaten him with a copyright strike, that he wasn't really, possibly, maybe, speaking as an employee of, I mean, he was, but it wasn't Wargaming's policy to issue copyright strikes if the YouTuber would not, does not comply, because basically you've removed him from the community contributor program, and that should be enough, you know. Why do you need to issue? Because he eventually agreed to remove the video. So what is the point if he's removed the vid and he's been removed from the community contributor program? What is the point of the copyright strike other than to make his life miserable, you know, make his life difficult? And whose life are you making difficult? One of your community, one of your supporters, you know. Fosh has, I don't know, 50 odd thousand subscribers, and, you know, streams, I think, on a daily basis, etc, etc. Why are you making one life difficult for one of your own? For what reason? You know, what is the purpose of that, other than to hurt him, other than to harm him? There is no point in issuing a copyright strike against the guy, you know, even if he doesn't take down the vid. So what? You know, so what? You know, big deal. And eventually, on the PC forums, they did actually issue, Wargaming did issue like a post stating, you know, we apologize to Fosh, and it's not you know, normal practice for us to issue any kind of copyright strikes, you know. So it possibly maybe looks like that maybe Phelan, you know, the guy that Fosh was dealing with, possibly maybe, you know, the community, the copyright strike comment was off the cuff, you know, was from him directly as a person, as in he didn't check with his superiors, you know, can I threaten him with a copyright strike? And that's it, you know. But you know, between him being threatened with the copyright strike to actually Wargaming making a statement saying, you know, no, we don't issue, you know, copyright strike warnings. I think it was a period of 24 hours, a day or two, and in the meantime, you know, the internet kind of blew up, etc, etc, and we had vid after vid from this guy and that guy. But what was odd, what was very, very odd, was on exactly the same day, a second streamer, Circum, had a very similar situation where he was streaming, he had a really decent game, he uploaded the game onto YouTube, and in that video he made a joke about the chief in charge, Victor Cassilis, whatever his name is. He made like a very petty, silly joke about his son. You know, it wasn't aimed at the son. It was really nothing to speak of. You know, very silly joke. But his community contributor status got instantly revoked, and he was told he was not going to go to Tankfest. And when he got told this, he, again, I think he was dealing with Phelan. He said, don't you think this is a little bit over the top? I'll remove the vid. And why didn't you give me a warning at least? This is just going. I think he said, from 0 to 100 in a blink of an eye. And they eventually came back and they agreed, and they said, okay, just take the vid down. We'll reinstate your community contributor position, and you can come to Tankfest. But it was very, very odd, because I don't really believe in coincidences. It was very odd that these two incidents happened at the same time, truth be told. It was very, very odd to me. And could it be that, I don't know, they're out looking for trouble, so to speak? I haven't got a clue. It's just, I'm not a cynical old git. It's just, I really don't believe in coincidences. And the fact that these two incidences happened both on the same day was just kind of like, it's weird, it's really weird, it's something strange, something dodgy there. I haven't got a clue what, just guessing. But that's about it, that's about it. The guy, Foch lost his community contributor status. He shrugged and said, fine, he said when he joined, I am who I am. I'm pretty salty. I speak my mind. I hope you guys know that. And when the drama happened, surrounding myself, and I was told I'm, you're not objective, constructive, and blah blah blah. I kept on saying to myself, but I don't moan, I don't complain, I'm not salty. I don't get it, and. I literally said to myself, I ain't no Foch, I'm especially not as good as him as a player, but I especially don't, like he did in that vid, fuck Wargaming, I'm not, and what was weird to me is that, recently I was looking at Foch's channel, and I realised he was a community contributor, and I said to myself, how on earth is Foch a community contributor? This is one of the saltiest players ever, and yet I am denied. And yeah, I haven't got a clue. It's just odd. It's weird. Maybe the guidelines for being a CC over on PC are somewhat different than they are here, even though the same guy seems to be dealing with it. I haven't got a clue. Because. And I haven't got a clue. It's just, it's weird. And this video wasn't supposed to be about myself, but do you guys consider me to be salty at all, or anything along those lines? Because I most certainly don't consider myself salty or ranty or anything along those lines. And I'm trying to think, there was the constructive criticism vids, that was about it, but I don't definitely, I did do one vid when they released, what was it, I can't remember, where I released that singer singing F you. when I kind of finally came to the realization that they were gonna keep the staggered release dates for the premium tanks, that was gonna be the way forward, 100%, and no longer were they were kind of debating. I think at the end of last year they were kind of going to and fro. Shall we keep it the way it's been, which is released different packages in one day, and when the new year kind of kicked in, you got the impression that they were gonna go with staggered release dates for the different bundles for premium tanks. And I did this video where it was Lily Allen, I remember, and she was singing "Fuck you, we hate what you do," And yeah, that's 100% crossed the line, but it's just one vid. I mean, come on. And it's a kind of a joke vid, really. You know, it's a sense of humor. I mean, get a life. But yeah, 100%. I don't consider myself to be a salty player. I don't consider myself to be a ragey. You know, I don't do rage vids. You know, I don't blame the mechanics. I don't mind the weather maps. I don't. You know, I don't. You know, the weather maps could be fixed 100%. I think I put a post. This is actually interesting. Like for instance, the weather mechanics on the extreme weather maps. It doesn't work. You know, it just doesn't work. The whole concept of the weather maps, it just doesn't work. And the reason being, and it's pretty simple. Your view range is cut in half. Your view range is cut in half. If your view range is cut in half, the render range should be cut in half as well, or the radio range. If you guys watch, the reason why these maps don't work, if you watch that video that I did recently of the Waffentrager on Himmelsdorf, where I am taking out medium tanks up on the hill from all the way, you know, on the other side of the map without getting lit up. If extreme weather is happening, you know, if it's an extreme weather map, I should not be able to see them, you know, because they're being lit up all the way on that hill by my teammates up on that hill. So, but I could not light them up, you know, even if I had binocs and all of this, and you know, sitting in the position that I was, I could not light them up because my view range is nerfed by 50%. So why on earth am I able to see them if there's a blizzard going on? You understand? If the view range is nerfed, so should the radio range, so should the render range. And I believe render range, nerfing render range is not a possibility. But if you can't nerf render range, nerf the radio range. You know, so my teammates cannot signal to me that, you know, and enable me to see them up on the hill. You know, I should not be able to see them up on the hill on Himmelsdorf from all the way, you know, on the other side of the map. So this is, you know, a very strong, valid point, you know, and I dare anybody, you know, and this is not me not being arrogant. Am I wrong? You know, am I wrong? You're not wrong. But the thing is, and this is, you know, about me being ranty and ravey. This is, bear with. I put a post on the forums with regards to this matter, and I'll explain exactly what I was talking about. Saying, you know, this is a fundamental flaw when it comes to the extreme weather maps. The fact that our view range is nerfed by 50%, but our render range is not. You know, it should not work like that. You know, something needs to give here. I think on that post I got about 50 views and 0 replies, 0 comments, you know. But the thing is, you know, I was being really nice because I got sick of being labelled a jerk. You know, I'm always labelled a jerk, you know, when I speak my mind. And the reason why I get labelled a jerk is because I know that you have to create waves in order to be noticed. You know, a very similar thing happened with regards to the extreme weather maps when they changed our kill feed. When they changed the kill feed, and they changed the kill feed, and nobody liked it. You know, this was a couple of updates ago. I put a post up on the forums, and the wording of it was designed to draw attention. You know, the wording of it was designed to ruffle people's feathers, to make people sit up and notice, and you know, create not controversy, but make people talk about this, you know, because I wanted it changed. I wanted the kill feed to be changed to back to how it was, or improved upon, but definitely not to what Wargaming had, you know, then changed it to. And somebody in the post said, you know, how can you post this? Because it was really arrogant of me, you know, what I posted. You know, I said, how dare you guys change this without even consulting us? You should have consulted us 100%. How can you think you can change this without consulting? You know, it was really arrogant of me, but it was there was purpose to it. You know, I wanted it changed, you know, and I knew that if I was just nice and, you know, I put pretty words in and pretty please could you, it wouldn't get noticed. Just like, you know, my post on the weather mechanics, which got completely ignored. Nobody looked at it. But my post on the kill cam change, because I came across as a bit of a douche and a bit of an arrogant prick, got a buttload of views, a buttload of replies, and it got people talking. And eventually, what happened? The kill feed got changed. You know, it did get changed 100%. And I don't think you know, I changed it. You know, my post changed it, but I was part of that movement that eventually got it changed. You know, there were some people in the post, like I said, who said, how dare you, how can you write this, who do you think you are? You know, they're not going to change it. They're not going to change it. You know, just because you put up this post, they're not going to change it. And I said, you'll see, they'll change it. They'll 100% change it. And it's not going to be because of this post, but it's going to be because of my post and, you know, 10, 20 other posts like this, you know. And a job done. Sometimes you have to break a few eggs, you know, to make an omelette. And but it's because of posts like this, you know. I'll leave links for all of this. I do come across as a little bit douchey, you know, and it's not. I mean, it is intentional, but you know. But me as a person, you know, an everyday person, am I douchey? Am I arrogant? Am I an asshole? Am I, you know, no, 100%. And I think some people have taken seen a couple of my vids and come to the assumption, oh, he must be that kind of player, but that kind of person, but I'm not. And when Jack and myself had that spatter on Twitter, he said to me, you know, you shit on Wargaming, and I was kind of scratching my head. I do. When? I do. And it's weird because people have this. I don't know. Maybe I haven't crafted my personality well on the YouTubes or something. I haven't got a clue. But I don't consider myself to be like a really vocal critic of Wargaming, what they do wrong, what they do right. And you know, and when I saw Fosh's vid, for instance, the original vid where he was effing and blinding about the tank, etc., etc., I said, you know, first thing I said to myself, now that's shitting on Wargaming. That, you know, is not objective and not constructive. You know, that is, you know, what I've kind of been accused of. And it's weird how he's kind of turned into me. All about me. But yeah, and even the kind of like the beard guys, well, not the beard guys, Ben, kind of tweeted out that he kind of misinterpreted a comment I put on the forums, and he tweeted out, oh, Cosmic Harry thinks, doesn't believe in the integrity of the community contributors, calling into question, I can't remember the specifics, but it's just, where does all this come from? You know, seriously, I made a comment. I think this is when Club Wargaming got originally created. You know, a year or two ago, they weren't giving out loaner tanks. They were literally giving out free tanks. You know, they were giving out. I can't remember this specifically what tanks, but instead of giving out loaner tanks for YouTubers to review, they were actually. You know, as loaners, you know, you can have it for a week. They were actually giving them tanks, you know, to keep. And I made a comment about this, I can't remember where, stating, you know, you should not do this. You should not accept these. I was in no way jello. You know, I am jello, of course, of the loners, 100%. But when they give you stuff, you know, you will. It's nice to be given stuff, but it's gonna taint your opinion. It's gonna, you know, in the back of your mind, you're gonna be saying to yourself, you know, I can't be too honest because they'll stop with the, you know, with the free tanks, you know, and the tanks aren't cheap, 100%. So I did put a comment saying, you know, that you shouldn't accept free stuff. Accept loaners, go ahead, 100%, because there's nothing happening there really. You just get a loaner and you have to return it after a week, job done. But accepting free tanks, that's kind of different. And ever since then, maybe it was that comment, I don't know. The CCs, the community contributors, all seem to think that I kind of question their integrity, their sincerity, their. And I don't, you know. I think their vids are very, very sincere and honest and truthful. I mean, all you're doing is reviewing a tank, you know, for Christ's sakes. I mean, they could be making more vids, I would say. They could be being a bit more vocal when it comes to negative stuff in the game, 100%. You know, for instance, with the kill fee change, when I put up that post, I was kind of saying to myself, why isn't nobody making a vid about this? You know, why isn't, you know, because this was like a important change, and it was like I was the only one complaining about it. But yeah, I've never, yeah, you know, and yeah, I mean, people kind of listen to the first minute of I said this, you know, people kind of listen to the first minute of my vid. I think that's what's happening, and they kind of make up their mind, you know, or they read something I've written, they read the first line, and that's it, you know, or the message doesn't filter through properly, and when you come to the end message, I've come across as a douche, I've come across as a salty person, I've come across as a salty player, I've come across as somebody who hates wargaming, you know, it's bullshit. I mean, maybe I'm to blame. I haven't got a clue. I don't know. I don't mind the game. I like the game. I don't mind the waffle staying. I'm not afraid to, you know, speak my opinion, speak my mind. Maybe more so than others. Maybe my language is a bit more colourful. So what? But I ain't no fosh. You know. I don't mind RNG. I understand lag is part of an online game. I don't know what to say. I don't give a shit about tier 10 TDs, balancing them. I'm fine with pretty much everything, you know, and you know, those constructive criticism vids were just that. It was just constructive criticism. They were kind of, the company was turning a new page, and they were trying out different things, and I was kind of just wanted to kind of, you know, record all these changes. And but anyhow, yeah, it's just odd to me, weird to me, that I'm kind of perceived that way. When I got denied the community contributor status, a lot of you, like in the, and I made a vid about it, you know, the drama vid, a lot of you in the comments were saying, yeah, you go Cosmic, you speak the truth, man. Those other guys, they don't speak the truth. They you know, they you're the, you know, you tell it how it is. But what did I do? You know, honestly, what did I do? What have I done? I haven't done anything. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not fosh. You know, I don't say, well, fuck this. You know, I'm not that way, and I don't get I don't know where that's coming from. You know, maybe it's just a consequence of being denied the community contributor position, and these guys have got it. You know, maybe that's simply a consequence of that situation. You know, that people will inevitably think, oh, these guys are brown nosers, and Cosmic is the champion for justice and free speech, but it's not that way at all. It's just the guy that denied me the community contributor position just screwed up big time with Fosh by threatening him with a copyright strike. That shows you that, you know, even Wargaming employees, they're not perfect. You know, they don't always make the right decisions. They don't, you know, they're human after all, just like you and me and you and I. And yeah, so, but anyhow, we have ranted on, raved enough. We've been salty enough. Good times. Take it easy, guys. Like I said in last vid, well, I didn't say it, just taking a break. I want to rediscover my World of Tanks mojo. We're kind of like 900 vids in. You know, I'm taking a sabbatical. What's a sabbatical? I don't even know what a sabbatical is. I'm taking some extended time off in order to just play tanks, enjoy myself, put my feet up. Yeah, you know, I'm not reviewing any premium tanks, so what the hey? Maybe if they, you know, do a road to like the Grill 15, I'll jump straight back on, you know, because I did enjoy doing that. So I can't wait for the Swedish tanks. Not really looking forward to any new premium tanks apart from the Scorpion G. I like to get the Scorpion G, and the Swedish tanks I am looking forward to. You know, when are they coming? I haven't got a clue. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you think, you know, in the comments. Do I come across as some kind of salty arsehole? You know, it's just sometimes you have to use colourful language, and you know, I've been told on the forums, you crossed the line too many times, Cosmic. You crossed the line. You need to express yourself in a cool, calm, and collective way. And I'm like, oh, shove it up your ass, buddy. You know, please. We don't live on the forums. You know, there is a world outside the forums. You know, so. But anyhow, take it easy, guys. Adios, muchachos. I'll see you on the battlefield. I play often, and you know, Red 5, R5. Yeah, take it easy, guys. Lots of love. Cosmic Carry.